Hello learners, this is Dr. Krishnaveni giving you a lecture on fractions, GCD and LCM of numbers. In this lecture, you will learn about the types of fractions, sum, difference, product and division of fractions. What is a fraction? A number of the form a by b, where a and b are integers, is called a fraction. Here in this fraction a by b, a is called the numerator, b is called the denominator. For example, in the number 5 by 9, it is a fraction. Here 5 is numerator and denominator is 9. 7 by 3 is a fraction where 7 is numerator and the denominator is 3. See, there are three different types of fractions. One is proper fraction, the other one is improper fraction, and another one is mixed fraction. What is a proper fraction? See, these fractions 2 by 5, 7 by 9, 11 by 18, etc. In these fractions, if you observe, the numerator is smaller than the denominator. See here, 2 is smaller than 5. Here numerator is 7, denominator is 9 and 7 is smaller than 9. See here, 11 is in the numerator, 18 is in the denominator in the fraction 11 by 18, and here 11 is less than 18. So a fraction in which the numerator is less than the denominator, then that fraction is called as a proper fraction. Now other way, suppose if the numerator is greater than the denominator, then that fraction is called as an improper fraction. Okay, if you see these fractions, in these fractions, the numerator is greater than the denominator. See, 7 is bigger than 2, 11 is greater than 9. In this fraction, 21 by 5, 21 is greater than 5. So such fractions are called as improper fractions. Now let us come to mixed fraction. See, if you see a fraction of this form, c into a by b, you should read it as c into a by b. Here, this type of fractions are called as mixed fractions. Remember, c is a positive integer. You have seen in the previous unit the integers. Okay, here c is a positive integer. Any fraction of this form c a by b is called as a mixed fraction. See, basically, c in place of c here we have 2, in place of a we have here 5, in place of b we have here 9. So what do you mean by 2, 5 by 9? This is a mixed fraction. The meaning of this is 2 plus 5 by 9. Okay, and 2 plus 5 by 9, if you add this, you get 18 plus 5 by 9, because 9 2s are 18, 18 plus 5 by 9, 23 by 9. See, a mixed fraction is now written as an improper fraction. So it is understood that mixed fraction is expressed as an improper fraction. Why this is an improper fraction? Here the numerator is 23, denominator is 9 and 23 is greater than 9. Let us see the other one, 3, 7 by 4. This is a mixed fraction which is equal to 3 plus 7 by 4. See, when you sum these two, 3 4s are 12 plus 7. 12 plus 7, 19 by 4. So, this mixed fraction 3, 7 by 4 is equal to 19 by 4, where this is an improper fraction because it is a fraction where the numerator is greater than the denominator. Let us see a few more examples for mixed fractions. 7 1 by 3. 7 1 by 3 actually means that 7 plus 1 by 3. When you add these two, you get 22 by 3. 9 3 by 5 means 9 plus 3 by 5. So 5 nines are 45 plus 3 by 5. So it is 48 by 5. You observe carefully here that every mixed fraction, if you write, it would be in the form like improper fraction where the numerator is greater than the denominator. Okay. Now 11 3 by 8 is a mixed fraction. And when you simplify this, it would be equal to 91 by 8. 10 5 by 6 is equal to 65 by 6. All these are some examples for mixed fractions. Now, two fractions are equivalent or three fractions are equivalent. When do we say that equivalent fractions? Means fractions are equivalent. See, if you come to this example, 1 by 2 is equal to 2 by 4. See, when you cancel here 2, it is equal to 1 by 2 only. What happened here is you multiplied both numerator and denominator with number 2. So 1 2's 2, 2 2's 4. And this again, if you multiply 1 with 3, 2 with 3, it is equal to 3 by 6 because 3 ones are 3, 3 twos are 6. Again, if you multiply numerator with 4 and denominator with 4, it would be equal to 4 by 8. What is happening here is you are multiplying the numerator and denominator with the same number so that it remains, the value remains the same. See here, 1 by 2 is equal to 2 by 4. And 2 by 4 is equal to 3 by 6 because 3 by 6 is also 1 by 2. When you cancel 3 table, okay, the value is 0.5. See, for all the value, if you write the value of these fractions, it is equal to 0.5. Means when you divide 1 with 2, you get the value 0.5. When you divide 2 with 4, you get the value 0.5. When you divide 3 with 6, the value is 0.5. When you divide 4 with 8, the value is 0.5. See, these are all expressed in different forms, but the value is the same. So these fractions are called as equivalent fractions. Why? Because they have the same value. Okay. Now coming to the next one, 3 by 5 is equal to 6 by 10. What happened here? 3 is multiplied with 2, 5 is multiplied with 2, so 6 by 10. So here 6 by 10 is equal to 3 by 5, and these two fractions are equivalent. Why? Because the value of 3 by 5 is 0.6, the value of 6 by 10 is also 0.6. And this is equal to 9 by 15 because if you divide with 9 with 15, you get again 0.6. See, all these fractions are having the same value. That's why they are called as equivalent fractions. Okay, so we can make equivalent fractions. How? By multiplying or dividing the numerator and denominator of the fraction with the same number. See, you can multiply and divide both numerator and denominator with the same number, or you can divide both numerator and denominator with the same number to get the equivalent fraction from the given fraction. Okay, this is more important. Actually, this concept is more important. Now let us come to the algebra fractions. Means how to add two fractions, how to write the difference of two fractions, how to find the product of two fractions, and how to divide a fraction with another fraction. Okay, so let us now come first to addition of two fractions. See, if you want to add two fractions or subtract one from the other, the first thing is both the fractions should have the same denominator. You have seen now what a denominator means. So if you want to add two fractions or if you want to subtract one from the other, first step that you must see that is both the fractions should have the same denominator. Okay, so if at all they have the same denominator, what you can do to add both the fractions, and if they have with the different denominators, how you have to proceed to add two fractions. That is what explained here. Okay, now first case is when the fractions have different denominators. Okay, when the fractions have different denominators. For example, if they have same denominator, you will come to know how to add. That is easier. So let us discuss with the fractions having different denominators. See here, first of all, if you have two fractions and you have to add them, what you have to do is you check, as I said earlier, whether the fractions have the same denominator or not. If the fractions have the same denominator, what you have to do is you sum the numerators of the fractions and by the denominator, which is common to both the fractions. Okay, when both the fractions are having same denominator, it is very easy to find the sum of those two fractions. How? You have to write the sum of the fractions as sum of the numerators of the fractions divided by whatever you have in the denominator. As both the fractions have the same denominator, that can be written here. Okay, so now you are adding two fractions. What steps you have to follow here is, very first step is you check whether the fractions have the same denominator. If they have same denominator, you just sum the numerators to get the numerator of the sum of the fractions by the denominator. Okay, now what you have to do, if they have not having different, if they are not having the same denominator, in that case what you have to do is, you see here, if the fractions have no same denominator, you have to first find the least common denominator. How you will do that? You will be given an example here. Now see here. See, first of all, this is the case when both the fractions are having the same denominator. Here denominator is 9. Okay. And in 4 by 9, 9 is the denominator, and 11 by 9, denominator is 9. When both the fractions are having the same denominator, what I said is you must add the numerators. That is 4 plus 11 here is 15, and whatever you have in place of denominator, that common denominator, you can put it in the denominator of the sum of these two fractions. So 4 plus 11 is 15 by 9. This is the sum of these two given fractions. But this is the case when both the fractions are having the same denominator. What did he say? If they have same denominator, you just add the numerators and put the denominator which is common to both the fractions. Now you just see this example too. This is the case and you are adding two fractions, and both the fractions are not having the same denominator. In the fraction 3 by 5, the numerator is 3, denominator is 5. Whereas in the fraction 7 by 2, the numerator is 7, denominator is 2. Now how do we add? See, if at all they have the same denominator, you know you have to add the numerators and put the same denominator in the denominator. Now this is other way. Like what you have to do is, see, you multiply the denominators here. 5 into 2 here, that is 10. Okay. So to get 10, now you have to see that both the fractions have 10 as the denominator. Okay, so which is the multiple of the denominators. Okay, so what I did is, in the first step I multiplied the denominators, that is 5 into 2 here, 10. So now your aim is to get 10 as the denominator in both the fractions. So now 3 by 5, I'm going to write its equivalent fraction. To write equivalent fraction, what did I say? You must multiply both numerator and denominator with a number. Now, what number you have to multiply with what number? 2. Why? Because you need to get 10 in the denominator. So, 5 2s are 10. Since I multiplied the denominator with the 2, I have to multiply the numerator also with 2, so that you will get a fraction 6 by 10, which is equivalent to 3 by 5. Okay, you're writing an equivalent fraction from the given fraction 3 by 5. And 3 by 5 value is same as 6 by 10. That's why these two are equivalent fractions. And what did I do is, I did the multiplication of 3 with 2 and multiplied the denominator also with 2. Similarly, second fraction 7 by 2. What is your aim now? To add these two fractions. To add two fractions, what you have to have is, you must have the same denominator. So to have the same denominator, I first found out the product of 5 and 2, which are the denominators. And here 10 we have to get. Already the first fraction is equivalent to 6 by 10, where 10 is in the denominator. Now what you have to do is you have to write 7 by 2's equivalent fraction. So it has to be like you multiply both numerator and denominator with 5. Why? Because 2 into 5 becomes 10 and you'll get 10 in the denominator. So since you're multiplying the denominator with 5, you must also multiply the numerator with 5. So 7 into 5 by 2 into 5 will give you 35 by 10. And now 7 by 2 is equivalent to 35 by 10 because these two are equivalent fractions, because the value of 35 by 10 is 3.5. The value of 7 by 2 is 3.5. Okay. Now 3 by 5 is equal to 6 by 10. 7 by 2 is equal to 35 by 10. Now to add 3 by 5 and 7 by 2, what I am doing is in place of 3 by 5, I put its equivalent fraction. In place of 7 by 2, I put its equivalent fraction, so that both these equivalent fractions are having the same denominator. And as I said earlier, when the fractions have the same denominator, you have to only add the numerators, and that is 6 plus 35, and put the denominator which is common to both the fractions. So 6 plus 35 gives you 41, and denominator you have 10. So finally the sum of 3 by 5 and 7 by 2 is equal to 41 by 10. That is what explained in the previous slide. See again, see, let me go back to the previous slide. See here, what did he say? Whether first thing is to add two fractions, you have to check whether the fractions have the same denominator. If they have the same denominator, directly go to step 2 and then add the numerators of the fraction and put the denominator which is common to both the fractions. Okay, if they have same denominator, this is the procedure. If they have different denominators, means you have to go to next step. Next step is what? If the fractions have the same denominator, then find the least different denominators. Means if they have no same denominator, means if they have different denominators, you find the least common denominator. How will you get that? I told you to find the product of the denominators. And afterwards, what you have to do is you have to write the equivalent fractions. Means make each fraction to have the same denominator. Okay, so once the fractions are having the same denominator, you can go back to step 2, means how to find the sum of two fractions. That is, just sum the values of the numerators and put the denominator. Okay, this is the procedure, girls, to add two fractions when both the fractions are having the same denominator and when both of them are having different denominators. Okay. Now let us move to the next operation, subtraction. Okay, how do we find out the difference of two fractions? The same procedure. Okay, I'll explain to you here by taking examples. Now see here example 3. We have two fractions and we are asked to find out the difference of these two fractions. Remember, whether it is sum or difference, whether it is addition or subtraction, you must have that both the fractions have the same denominator. Here 5 by 7 minus 9 by 7, both of them are having same denominator. What you did in case of addition, you added the values in the numerator and you put the denominator. Okay, now the same thing you have to do, but only difference here is you have to find out the difference of the numerators. So 5 by 7 minus 9 by 7 is, you have to write 5 minus 9 by 7. If it is addition, 5 plus 9 by 7, because both of them are having same denominator. Now you are doing the subtraction, difference of two fractions, so you have to put here minus. So 5 minus 9 is minus 4. So the difference of these two fractions is minus 4 by 7. And this is the case when both the fractions are having the same denominator. Now let us move to the next case, when now you are also doing again the difference of two fractions, means subtraction of 5 by 4 from the fraction 8 by 3. Now here if you observe, 8 by 3 is a fraction whose numerator is 8, whose denominator is 3. Whereas in the fraction 5 by 4, numerator is 5, denominator is 4. Now you are finding out the difference. What you have to do? You have to have the same denominator, whether it is addition or subtraction. So for that, what you have to do? You multiply the denominators. 3 into 4 is 12. So you see that 12 occurs in both the fractions. Like how 8 by 3, to get 12 in the denominator, you multiply numerator with 4, denominator with 4. So 8 into 4 by 3 into 4, which is 32 by 12. Now see, the value of 8 by 3 is equal to the value of 32 by 12. So this fraction is equivalent to this fraction. Now the intention is to make both the fractions with the same denominator. For that purpose, I multiplied, I have to get 12 in the denominator for these two fractions. So I had to multiply numerator and denominator with the same number 4. So that this 4 will be cancelled, means you get again 8 by 3 only. Okay. Whatever you do with for the numerator, the same thing has to be done for denominator also, without the, so that the value will remain the same. So now let us see these 5 by 4. What you have to get in the denominator? 12. So here you have to multiply 4 with 3, so that it becomes 12. So what you are doing here, denominator you are multiplying with 3. So numerator also you have to multiply with 3. So 5 into 3 by 4 into 3, which will give you 15 by 12. Now the value of 5 by 4 is equal to the value of 15 by 12. That's why 5 by 4 is equivalent to 15 by 12. So now in place of 8 by 3, we write 32 by 12 minus. In place of 5 by 4, we write 15 by 12. So now as they were having different denominators, you are unable to take the difference of those two. So what we did for that, we had to now bring these two fractions. Now we wrote the corresponding equivalent fractions where both the fractions are having the same denominator. And as I said earlier, like in case of addition, when both the fractions are having the same denominator, by adding the numerators, you will get the sum of the fractions. By subtracting the denominators, you will get the difference of the fractions. So 32 minus 15, you have to put in the numerator. By means divided by whatever you have in common in the denominator, that you have to put. Okay. So because these two fractions are having the same denominator, it is very easy now for you to take the difference, to write the difference of these two fractions. So 32 minus 15 is 17. So the value of the difference of these two fractions is equal to 17 by 12. Now you have seen how to add two fractions when both of them having the same denominator and different denominators. And you have seen how to write the difference of two fractions when both the fractions have the same denominator and different denominators. Let us move to the third operation, product of fractions. It is very simple. And how do we find product of two fractions? You have two fractions, means both the fractions will have numerators and denominators. To write the product of those two fractions, you have to simply write product of the numerators by product of the denominators to get the product of the fractions. Now see, here is an example. 5 by 6 is a fraction into 7 by 2 is another fraction. See here, numerator is 5 and the denominator is 6. In this case, numerator is 7, denominator is 2. Now you are finding out product of these two fractions. So what you have to do is, you find the product of the numerators, that is 5 into 7, put it in the numerator, and you find the product of the denominators, that is 6 into 2, and put it in the denominator. So now 5 into 7 by 6 into 2 is 35 by 12. This is the value, means product of these two fractions is equal to this. Now we have here three fractions. When you have more than three fractions, the same procedure. What you have to do is, first you write the product of the numerators, put it in the numerator. Here it is 1 into 3 into 8. And now you write product of the denominators. Here it is 9 into 4 into 3. So 1 into 3 into 8 is 24. 9 into 4 into 3 is 108. So the product of these three fractions is 24 by 108. And you can simplify this further. So you can cancel actually 3 table. 3 8s are 24 and 336 are 108. And further you can cancel here, because I just want to explain to you step by step. At a time you can cancel actually the 6 table, girls. Here first I did with the 3 cancellation and then cancel with the here 4. Okay, 24. So here 12 table. So directly you can go for cancelling with 12. Otherwise, first 3, then with 4. Okay, now 4 2s are 8 and 4 9s are 36. So this is how you can find the product of two fractions. Now the last one is division. Okay, division of two fractions. And before that, you must know what a reciprocal of a fraction is. See here, you have a fraction here, a by b, where this is having something in the numerator, something in the denominator. The reciprocal of this fraction is just to reverse it. Means the one which is in the denominator will become now numerator, and the one which is in the numerator will become now denominator. Okay, the reciprocal of this fraction a by b is equal to b by a. For example, reciprocal of 1 by a is equal to a by 1, but a by 1 is equal to a. So why did I do this? Means now you are going to see how to find out division of two fractions, like how to divide a fraction with another fraction. See here, here is an example. Let me start with an example. See, you have a fraction here 3 by 7, and you have to divide this with 9 by 5. How? See here, if it is product, what did I say? You multiply the numerators, put the value in the numerator. You multiply the denominators, put the value in the denominator. That is how you find the product of two fractions. Now this is division of two fractions. So what you have to do is, now you are dividing 3 by 7 with 9 by 5. Okay, so now this 9 by 5 reciprocal you have to write. That means just now I explained to you, reciprocal of 9 by 5 means you just reverse this 5 by 9. Okay. Now 3 by 7 you keep it as it is, divided by 9 by 5 is equal to, I am saying 3 by 7 as it is, you put it, instead of dividing with 9 by 5, you take the reciprocal of 9 by 5 means 5 by 9. So you multiply. Okay. So actually a by 1 mean, if you take reciprocal of a by 1, this is 1 by a. So see, this is 3 by 7 by 9 by 5 means 3 by 7 into 5 by 9. So here it becomes now product of two fractions. So as I discussed earlier, you have to multiply the numerators, put it in the numerator, and find the product of the denominators and write that value in the denominator. Okay, 3 into 5 it is 15, and 7 into 9 it is 63. So numerator is 15 and denominator is 63. Okay, you can cancel here 3 table. 3 5s are 15 and 3 21s are 63. So this is how you can find the division of two fractions, which is nothing but product, by writing the one which is in the denominator and its reciprocal. Okay, let me give you one more example here. 4 by 7 divided by 1 by 6. Here you write the reciprocal of 1 by 6, which is equal to 6 by 1. Just reverse it. Okay, see, 1 is now in the numerator, in its reciprocal it goes to the denominator. 6 is in the denominator here, in its reciprocal it goes to the numerator. So to find the division, like 4 by 7 by 1 by 6 means 4 by 7, the one which is in the numerator will be as it is. Instead of writing divided by 1 by 6, you will write it as into 6 by 1, reciprocal. So now when it comes to the product of two fractions, you have to multiply the numerators by, and you have to multiply the denominators. So 4 into 6 is 24, 7 into 1 is 7. So let us now see some applications. Okay, so you have seen today what a fraction is in this lecture, and then how to add, subtract, multiply and divide the fractions. And you have seen, of course, the various types of fractions, proper fraction, improper fraction and mixed fraction. So now the very first problem is 2 by 7 is what part of 1 by 11? See, this is a statement, and you are going to write this in a mathematical equation form. See, 2 by 7 is means is equal to what? Means I put a question mark of what part of 1 by 11. Okay, fractions means always parts. Okay, now 2 by 7, the unknown you can take it as n, and of means here into 1 by 11 I put it in the brackets. Okay, 2 by 7 is what part of 1 by 11? Your aim is to find out n. Okay, so whenever you want to find out anything, you have to have that on one side and remaining you have to bring to the other side. Okay, so here I want to bring 1 by 11 to the other side. And what do you have on the other side? 2 by 7. You keep it as it is. And now when this number 1 by 11 goes to the other side of the equal to symbol, it will be reversed. Okay, remember, any number which is in the numerator and when it goes to the other side of the equation, it will get reversed. Now we want only n on one of these sides because you are going to find out the value of n. So we are going to bring this 1 by 11 to the other side. So whatever you have on other side, you put it as it is. And because this is in the numerator 1 by 11, when it goes to the other side, it goes to the denominator, means you have to take the reciprocal of this. So as it is a fraction, when it goes to the other side, it will get reversed. So 1 by 11 reciprocal means 11 by 1. So now n is on the right hand side, so I put n on one side and I brought 1 by 11 to the other side, so it becomes 11 by 1. Now this is product of two fractions. So as we explained, discussed, you have to find the product of the numerators and by product of the denominators. So 2 11s by 7 1s. 2 into 11 which are in the numerator, 7 into 1 which are in the denominators. So here 2 11s are 22, 7 1s are 7. So these are the applications of what you learned in the lecture. Okay, now let us see the second problem. See here, if at all a by 7 minus a by 9 is equal to 8, you are asked to find out the value of a. Okay, if a by 7 minus a by 9 is equal to 8, then a's value is how much? So what is given here? A by 7 minus a by 9 is 8. Now see, these two are the fractions and both we are finding out the difference of those two fractions. And whenever you're finding out difference, what you have to do? You have to have the same denominator. They don't have here the same denominator. So you must see that both the fractions have the same denominator. So to have that, what did I say? You multiply first the denominators. Here 7 into 9. So 7 into 9 is 63. So your aim is to get 63 in the denominator because that is the multiple of the denominators. Okay. So in order to make both the fractions with the same denominator, which has to be 7 into 9, 63. So what you have to do is, already there is 7 here. So you must make it 63 means you must multiply with 9. So multiply with denominator with 9 means you must do the same thing to the numerator so that the value will not be disturbed. Okay, see here a by 7, you are going to multiply a with 9. 7 with 9 means both numerator and denominator are multiplying with 9 so that a by 7 remains as it is when you cancel 9 and 9 here. Okay, minus minus. Now see, already we have in the denominator 9 in the second fraction and you have to have 63 in the denominator. So what you have to do is you have to multiply both numerator and denominator with 7 here in this case. So that 9 7s are 63 and numerator also you are multiplying with 7. Okay. First fraction you are multiplying numerator and denominator with 9, whereas second fraction you are multiplying numerator and denominator with 7. So that this first fraction becomes 9a by 63 minus second fraction becomes 7a by 63. See, now here both the fractions are having the same denominator. So now it is very easy for you to write the difference of these two fractions. How to write? You put the denominator as it is and subtract the numbers in the numerator. 9a minus 7a. That becomes the numerator of this fraction, and the denominator is anyway common to both these fractions. You write it as it is. So 9a minus 7a by 63, as per the hypothesis, it is given as equal to 8. Okay, so 9a minus 7a is 2a. 2a by 63 is equal to 8. That is what I wrote here. Okay, now your aim is to find out a value. So whatever you want to find out, you keep it on one side and remaining thing you can take to the other side of the equation. So here by 63. This 63 is in the denominator. I told you already, as it is in the denominator, it is 1 by 63. When you take it to the other side, it will get reversed. So it becomes 63 by 1. Okay, so 63 is in the denominator, and when it goes to the other side of the equal to sign, it goes to the numerator. So 2a is equal to 8 into 63. So now you have to find out a value. So a is equal to 8 into 63 is 504. And now see, as 2 is in the numerator, you're taking to the other side of the equal to sign, it goes to the denominator. Here 63 is the denominator. When you took it to the other side of the equal to sign, see equal to sign, it came to the numerator here, whereas here 2 is in the numerator. When you are bringing to the other side of the equation, it goes to the denominator. So now a is equal to 504 by 2, whose value is 250. So this is how you can apply the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, the concept in doing certain problems. Okay, let us see the third problem. Here we have three fractions. A by 2 is given as equal to b by 5 and given as equal to c by 9. So the question is, you are asked to find out a plus b plus c by a. What is the value of a plus b plus c by a? Okay, so now all these fractions are given as equal, means their values are equal, means they are equivalent. Okay, these fractions are equal, means the value of a by 2 is same as the value of b by 5 is same as the value of c by 9. So these are all equivalent fractions. So let them equal to some value, because all these are equivalent, means their values are equal. So let the value of them be n. Okay, so this means that a by 2 is equal to n, b by 5 is equal to n, c by 9 is equal to n. So a by 2 is equal to n means, see, I told you already, as 2 is the denominator, when you take it to the other side of the equal to, it will go to the numerator. So 2n. So b by 5 is equal to n means, then when you bring this 5 to the other side, b is equal to 5 into n. Now c by 9 is equal to n means c is equal to 9n. So now you know what is A, what is B, what is C. You substitute A value, B value, C value, and here down A value to get the value of A plus B plus C by A. So A is 2n, B is 5n, C is 9n. So in place of A, I put 2n. In place of B, I put 5n. In place of C, I put 9n. So A plus B plus C, I substituted again by A. A value is 2n. So 2n plus 5n plus 9n is equal to 16n by, you have 2n. Now you can cancel n because it is in numerator and also in the denominator. So 16n by 2n, after cancelling n, it becomes 16 by 2. And now you can cancel 2 in the sense that if you divide 16 with 2, you get 8. Finally, the value is 8. Now let us move on to the last problem here. See, if a by b is 3 by 2, then you are asked to find out the value of this fraction. See, it is given that a by b is equal to 3 by 2, and you are asked to find out 8a plus 7b by 6a minus 5b. Okay, so what is given? A by b is equal to 3 by 2. Okay, so what is asked for this? 8a plus 7b by 6a minus 5b. What you have to do is, you think that you can make use of this value. So to get a by b, what we did here is, I divided both numerator with b, denominator with b. Understood? I told you already, whatever you do to the numerator, the same thing should be done to the denominator also, so that the value remains the same. Okay, so here, why did I divide with b? Because I need a by b. Why I need a by b? Because I know the value of a by b. So I divided numerator with b, denominator with b. So 8a plus 7b by b means 8a by b, and 7b by b means like this, 7b by b, and divided by, see, numerator part is over. Now denominator also I'm dividing with b. So 6a by b minus 5b by b means it is 5b by b means it is 5. So finally you have here 8 into a by b plus 7b by b, b will be cancelled, it becomes 1. So 7, and here also 5b by b means it becomes 1. 5 into 1 becomes 5. Okay, so finally what you have here? You have a by b, and because you were given a by b, I did division with the b. Okay, so now I substituted for a by b, which is equal to 3 by 2. Here also I substitute for a by b, which is equal to 3 by 2. Now 8 into 3 by 2, I cancel now 2 in 8 4 times because 4 2s are 8. So 4 into 3. Here also I can cancel 2 in 6. 3 2s are 6. So in place of 6, you will get 3 if you just divide 6 with 2. So 3, already there is 3 here. Okay, minus. So 4 3s are 12 plus 7 by 9. 3 3s are 9 minus 5. So 19 by 4 is the value of this fraction. So these are the few applications of addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of fractions. One more problem, let us see. This is if a by b is equal to 4 by 7 and b by c is equal to 21 by 8. You are having two fractions and their values. Then here it is asked to find out c square plus a square by c square minus a square. In the previous question, there were no square terms. Here he asked to find out the value of this fraction where you have square of c, square of a, etc. So now what is given you wrote here. So here you cannot follow the same technique. As per the requirement, you have to go for the technique. Now a by b into b by c. Why did I do this? Because in the question that we are asked to find, there is only c and of course a. There is no b here. So you must eliminate b. So what you have to do is you have to eliminate b, means if you write both the fractions and if you multiply, the one which is in the denominator b, the one which is in the numerator here will be cancelled. So a by b into b by c means these b's will be cancelled. You get a by c. So this value is a by c. So whatever I did here, a by b, in place of a by b I wrote 4 by 7. In place of b by c I wrote 21 by 8. So now after cancelling b here left hand side, you have a by c, and after here no, you can cancel here 4 by 7 into 21 by 8. 7 goes in 21 3 times and 4 goes in 8 2 times. So it becomes 3 by 2. Okay, simple calculations. I told you very beginning when I was explaining to you course introduction video, you must know simple calculations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and cancelling like this, which you learned in your high school. Okay, so 4 goes in 8 2 times. So 4 by 8 means 2 and 7 goes in 21 3 times. So 21 by 7 becomes 3. Okay, now a by c left side you have and right side 3 by 2. So finally you got a by c. Why I want to a by c? I told you already, when in the question you have only c and a, there is no b. So you have to eliminate b, and as per the hypothesis, what can be done to eliminate b? You have to think, and if you just multiply these two fractions, as b is the denominator in the first fraction and b is the numerator in the second fraction, when you multiply, you will see that b will be cancelled. Okay, now you got a by c, and then square it. Why should I square? Because in the question we need here square terms we have, so we need square. Okay, we need to square it. So a by c, when you square it, a square by c square. So here also 3 square by 2 square. So 3 3 is 9. 2 2 is 4. Okay, a by c into a by c is equal to a square by c square. Product of two fractions means you have to multiply the numerators by and you have to multiply the denominators. That is what you did. So like in previous case, here what did you do? To get 8a plus 7b by 6a minus 5b, what to make use of a by b, I had to divide with the b because b is the denominator. Okay, here also what you have to do is, because a square by c square is known to you, as c square is the denominator, what you have to do is you take this fraction c square plus a square by c square minus a square, and to make use of the one which is in the hypothesis, you just divide the numerator with c square, denominator with c square. Means c square by c square plus a square by c square would be the term in the numerator, and down again you are divide with the denominator also with c square. So c square by c square minus a square by c square. So the value remains the same. Okay, remember girls, whatever you do to the numerator, the same thing should be done for denominator also. Okay, so now what did I do here? I multiplied the numerator with 1 by c square, or divided this numerator with c square, and divided the denominator also with c square, because you have here in your hand a square by c square. See, c square by c square becomes 1 plus a square by c square by c square by c square becomes 1 minus a square by c square. So finally I substitute the value of a square by c square. So 9 by 4. Here also a square by c square 9 by 4. Now adding two fractions, girls. I told you 4 ones are 4 plus 9. 13 by 4. Here also you're subtracting. 4 ones are 4 minus 9 minus 5 by 4. So now you're dividing one fraction with the other fraction. Okay. Luckily here 4 will be cancelled, and then it becomes minus 13 by 5. Otherwise, what I said, to divide two fractions, you take the reciprocal of the next second fraction. It becomes 4 by minus 5. So 4 is in the numerator. Here 4 is in the denominator. Both will be cancelled. Okay, so this is how you have to make use of what you learned while doing the applications. Okay, thank you.